I've got Chris Lonne on the line from Team No Nibz. Chris, back to back. Congratulations.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, I got to soak up doing these interviews while I can because there may not be any more victories for a while. Who knows?
Well, I guess the fish in that it will be changing over the coming weeks, but you're an adaptable angler, so I'm sure that you'll sort of work out what's going on and sort of work with that. I'll probably cut that out.
Yeah, that's it. That winter bite will start kicking in properly pretty soon, so let's just start. Yeah, maybe looking elsewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
Changing tactics. Getting away from the crankbaits, maybe.
Yeah, and this round you fished with Jacob Kelly. So David sat this one out. So so how did you go even transition to a new partner? Like no problems at all in that. You sort of that similar style and so forth.
Yeah, we've fished together a fair bit. Jacob and I. He actually pretty much showed me a lot of like how to do a lot of the crankbaiting sort of stuff. Him and a couple of other people, but yeah, he's a pretty good influence on canal fishing and stuff like that. He's a good teacher.
He's a very, very good angler.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%.
So tell us a little bit about how your day rolled out. I think you said in the presentations it was kind of similar to round two. Is was it sort of like do you have a milk run that you do, or do you sort of just are you looking for other things? Because the tide was very different. But this time we had a high in the morning and a low in the so it was opposite to last round. How do you approach that?
Yeah, to be honest, I was pretty dubious as to whether it would actually produce fish again, doing the same run. But yeah, so we pretty much just went to the same set of canals. And then we were sort of planning maybe to head out into the bay or something if that didn't work. So we had a bit of a backup plan, but yeah, we sort of just went in there and winged it a bit, and it was a little bit. It wasn't off its head or anything, but sort of like an hour, maybe around 8 or 9 o'clock, and we got three good upgrades. And then after that, it sort of slowed right down again. And then we sort of changed up spots and changed areas, and then went up to the Coomera, and yeah, nothing else really worked all day other than that, those canals.
I know when we went to the Coomera that it was flying fairly hard, so it was a little bit harder to fish. But yeah, so you those obviously if you're talking about those time frames, you got a bag fairly early, so you had your 5 nice and early, which takes that pressure off.
Yeah, I think it was around like 8 o'clock we had a bag, and then yeah, we sort of picked up a few smaller ones. I think out of our first 5 we had one 32 forker, and then yeah, around was it 9 o'clock, 8 or 9 o'clock, yeah, we got those few upgrades, which sort of put us in a decent stead.
Yeah, and I guess one of the big advantages now, 2 from 2, very healthy lead in the Team with a series. How do you feel about that? Is it something you just go, I just treat each round as it is, and if we get across the line, we get across the line, or is it something you're sort of conscious of, or where does that sit for you?
Initially, I wasn't really conscious of it, but now I'm sort of like, could actually make a run for it. But I mean, at the same time, it's not the only reason that I'd be fishing comps or anything. So I sort of I'll play it by ear a bit, and then see how it goes.
Yeah, see how it goes. Yeah. So and we've still obviously got 4 rounds to go. So there's a lot of fishing, and the next 3 rounds should be very different to the first 3 in the way where the fish are and how it's going. And we are heading into the time of year when the really big bags come, so it will be interesting to see them. I mean, you guys had a great bag. It was round 3.2 or something like that?
3.2, yeah, just 3.2.
So twice in a row, two bags over that 3 kilo mark, which is sensational. Like, we've always sort of said that I reckon on the Goldie historically, you get 2.5 kilos plus, 2.5 to 2.7, you'll win a comp every day of the year. So last year was a little bit different than this year's, sort of shaping up the same, where though you need those bigger bags to sort of get with a win.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I used to think that as well, and then sort of since last year, it sort of all changed. There was multiple bags that were over 3 and then even over 4 kilos as well. So
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how that all shapes out, and I guess probably even next round the scoreboard will sort of start to take shape, and but I guess it's something you can sort of you've got the lead and see how it goes.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I won't be putting too much pressure on myself or anything, but yeah, nice to have a few decent points in the bag for sure.
Very good. And now getting a little bit of a collection of trophies as well. The Builder Mick built those wonderful timber trophies. I hope they're taking pride of place in the pool room.
They are. Yeah, they're sort of up in the fishing section of the garage. So yeah, I'll have to get them properly hoisted up. But yeah, it's good to finally have a few decent trophies to throw up there for sure.
Yeah, nice. I know it's been a great addition to the series that we have and we appreciate Mick doing that. That time, and he sort of sourced the timber and does all the hard work for us. So he's done a great job with them.
Yeah, definitely adds something to the win for sure. You go home with a bit of hardware and something to look back on, and
Yeah, remember that time when I won 2 in a row?
Yeah, exactly. That time that I did that I'd never repeated.
Yeah, very good. Now, moving on for you, next up is the Hawkesbury round, so the ABT on the Hawkesbury. You were saying that you've never fished down there before, so how will you approach going to a brand new system, and the Hawkesbury is a big system? How will you approach that? How will you go down and go, what are you looking for and how will you approach that?
Basically, I'll try and sort of look at areas that suit my style of fishing, which is usually more shallower water stuff. And I'll be definitely doing a bunch of research beforehand. I've done a little bit, but just in the form of podcasts and anything you can find on YouTube and just stuff like that. And then I'll sort of try and locate a few spots that look alright, or that people have done alright in the past, and then give them a run on pre-fish. And when they don't produce, I'll go and reevaluate.
You'll have ruled out some spots where not to fish, as we do.
Yeah,
at times.
Exactly. That's one of the most important things sometimes, ruling out where not to fish.
And I think that's an important one too, in regard to you're going down there, and it's such a diverse fishery that you can pretty much fish anything. It's got everything for I don't know how surface will go, but your crankbaits, your plastics, all those crabs, all that kind of stuff will be in play, and there's so many different places you can use those. So it's I'm sure that you'll once you sort of find that strength and of something that you enjoy doing or do well and can adapt it to the area, you should do well.
Yeah, well, hopefully so. We'll see how we go again. I haven't really set any expectations, so it'll be good just to go down and just suss out a new waterway, similar to Victoria. Yeah. It was good to see a new place, hang out with mates and all the rest of it.
All right, mate. Well, I'll say thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win again. So that 2 in a row, that's a great feat. We look forward to seeing you at round 4. So it's in about 3 weeks or something, maybe 4 weeks. So and we'll wish you all the best for your time down in the Hawkesbury. I look forward to watching the weigh-ins and sort of following how you progress. I know you're positioned quite well in Angler of the Year again. Not to put pressure on you, but you're doing okay in that as well. So hopefully you can go down there and have a good comp and consolidate all that stuff you're working hard on.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, fingers crossed. And thanks for having me on, and thanks for running another solid event. And I'll definitely be there at round 4 for sure.
Defending champ, no worries.
Thanks, mate.
All right. Take care, and we'll talk again soon.
Cheers, mate. Catch up.
All right, I've got Sam Peck on the line from Team Chippy. He fished with his mate Mick Admiral yesterday in round 3 of the Atomic Bream Series, and they took out the prop option, their bag weight 3.35 kilo, second overall, and the round's big brim. So, how you going, Sam?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate.
So, a bit of a mouthful there, but we got through it all, and what a great day you had. Now, a little birdie told me that you made the run up to the bay yesterday.
Yeah, made the big run up.
So obviously an informed decision. You were sort of like, obviously I think the bay a bit of a run, but it's kind of one of those places where it's all or nothing, right? You sort of backed yourself and made the run. So and obviously good decision.
Yeah, you have to sort of, because it's about 45 minutes on the way up and it's an hour on the way back. So you have to make the run knowing you're going to catch fish. You can't just come back empty-handed. And I mean, we've sort of had a bit of a fish. We've been fishing the bay a little bit, and we'd been catching like good catches of fish just because the prawns were around. And we thought, we'll change it up. We'll get out of the canals and we'll have a go at the bay. And I mean, you could easily run up there and not catch anything. That was a possibility as well. But yeah, it took the risk and it paid off big time.
Awesome, and I know it's one of my favourite areas to fish up there, and it's a great spot, it's So tell us around your day how it sort of unfolded for you, because obviously the tide was high early and then it was a receding tide for most of the day. How did that affect your day?
Yeah, well, we were first. We drew first to start.
Oh,
so
that's handy.
that was a good thing, So we sort of got a little bit of a head start, and we raced up, and we sort of started fishing in Jacob's Well, and just started fishing edges because the tide was high. You could get up to the mangroves and stuff. And we caught a few good fish like early fishing edges. And then once the tide started running out and got hot, we just sort of started trying like everything, like rocks and boat holes and pontoons and stuff like that. And we just sort of slowly upgraded throughout the day. And it was a grind bite for sure. Like we were sort of stressing because we didn't really have anything until about 11:30, and then all of a sudden. We got a few key bites, and I think I said it at the presentation. Like every time we pull the bait out, we had 10 fish coming out after it, and they were just fighting for it. It was just crazy.
And this year we're measuring to fork, and your big fish went 33.5, which I guess in tip length would be probably around that 37. So a quality fish. When did that come in the session for you?
It might have been about 12 o'clock, and I think we got one upgrade after that, and then we had to leave an hour to get back. So
And any key sort of baits or presentations or techniques that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so we just sort of fished the edges in the morning, and we sort of used like top waters, crankbaits, aquas, sort of standard sort of stuff, and then in the afternoon we sort of. We fished some like cranker crabs and plastics, and then obviously crankbaiting, which I'm sort of just starting to learn. Yep. I haven't really done too much of it, but we did a bit of it on the weekend, and that was what caught the big one. It was on a crankbait, and he saw it and then just bow waved in towards it, and I'll have to send you a photo. He had it so far down his throat you could just see the bib poking out the top. So. He really wanted it.
They were like that. We, I know for us, Sue and I, we were fishing similar. We were up in the Jacobs Well area as well, and we found them. We were fishing those mangrove edges, and Sue got one, and I was trying to get this thing out of its mouth. It was just engulfed. I'm like, they were hungry. They were certainly, they weren't mucking around with it. It was good fun.
Yeah, 100%.
It's great to see, what I call the young and emerging anglers coming through. We're thrilled to have you fishing with us in this series. You were saying before there's a little bit of friendly rivalry between you and Harry and
Chris as well. Yeah, love like competing against those guys. And I was saying just before, like it's good being around guys that haven't won yet and want to win. They're hungry for it. Yeah, like I was saying before, it was Harry and Chris, 1 and 2 last week, and then this week it was Chris and me 1 and 2. So it's good being around guys that are competitive and want to win, and I think we're sort of, pushing each other to do better, and I think that's a good thing.
And I'm yet to do my interview with Chris, but 2 in a row. He's in fine form.
He'll say the same thing. He loves a little bit of competition. Old No Nibz over there.
he come off a great bag down in Victoria, and it's just like he's riding and it's a thing. Momentum is a big thing, and we see that quite a bit in the series. When you look at the last few years, those teams that can find the bigger fish consistently and they get on that roll, very, very hard to beat. So it'll be interesting. I'm really interested because we're sort of coming into that real transition period now where the fish will change, and everyone has their preferred techniques. There's the guys that are sort of canal specialists. There's the guys that are that love to fish deep, and all that kind of stuff. And as that water cools and that kind of thing, it's going to change again. We're pretty excited by that. So.
Yeah, I think when we went down, because I travelled with Chris down to Victoria, he got, I think, a 16th and a 13th, pretty good, and he was, catching good bags, and I was thinking, yeah, he's close, a win's going to happen soon, and then, sure enough, he won the first 2 events to start the season, and, I think I'm sort of starting to feel about the same way, I got a 7th at Cooter, and, now 2nd today, yesterday, starting to feel the same way, something's gonna click, and we'll get a few wins.
And you won a one of the BTA rounds up on I think Scarborough, and I think one of the rounds up there. So you've sort of you've had that.
Yeah, we won 3 rounds last year.
Oh, did you? Yeah, yep. So yeah. So you certainly.
And that was with Mick as well.
So fishing with your mate Mick, tell us about the dynamic of the team and how you approach it. Do you do something totally different, or how do you sort of work your team techniques?
Yeah, well, me and Mick fish pretty similar together, so we sort of just try and work it out on the day, and normally it's something small. He'll figure something out, or I'll figure something out, and then we sort of just go from there. And we, I'm always asking, how'd you catch that fish? And normally it is something like I'm moving my lure too fast, and we just make that small adjustment, and it seems to work pretty good.
And that is one of the advantages of the teams, fishing with teams. Not only you get to fish with a good mate, but you can just, you have one person maybe even just fishing for big fish or something different, and you just never know what you might crack on the day, and bouncing off each other, and you get that sort of that extra brain power, I guess, and that's, so it's a really good format like that.
Yeah, you do, and Mick's a great angler too, so he normally cottons on to something that I'm not doing, and he's caught some pretty important fish over the last couple of years of fishing that we've been doing.
Yeah, nice. And moving forward, your next trip, I think, for the ABT is down to the Hawkesbury in early May. Tell us about that and how you're looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm looking super forward to that one. We're travelling down. We're going down with Chris and Pete Cashman, and it should be a great trip. Jacob's coming as well, so it'll be a great trip. I fished down there once before. I went down there last year and just did the competition as a non-boater, and it was just an unreal tournament. It's such a great place, and I can't wait to get down there with the boat this year and explore the river, and hopefully some big fish come. That'd be good.
And it's a big fishery too. The actual arena is massive. You can go right up to I think it's called Bonaura or somewhere right up hours up the road. So it's a big system, but some absolutely massive bream in there. So it's always a very popular event on the tour when it goes there.
Yeah, and everyone normally stays at the caravan park, so it's a good social event as well. for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, it's a great little caravan park there, and you get that social aspect going, which is another important part of making those connections, and I think the format itself is conducive to that, where you get paired up with someone obviously you may not know, and it's a good opportunity to you get to know someone outside of it could be anywhere in Australia really, and even forge those friendships. I know from my experience, I've got made lots of friendships over the years from people that you've spent a day in the water with and had a great time.
Yeah, 100%. And also, like, I mean, the Hawkesbury's fishing a lot of, stuff that I like doing. There's a lot of, flats and rock walls and bridges and, boats. It's kind of similar to the Gold Coast, there's a lot of structure and it just sets up perfectly for my style. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I think the hardest part is it's like Sydney Harbour. The whole place just looks fishy. You just like want to cast there, want to cast there, and it's like it's an incredible place. So so wish you all the very best for that. I want to say thank you for your time out to tell us about how you went about your day on Sunday, and sharing those techniques and tips with us. So congratulations on a super effort, and like I said, I appreciate your time.
No worries. Thanks, mate.